Well, the new Mary Free Bed YMCA is going to be the first of its kind, not only in West Michigan, but in the entire country. Once it's done, it will allow people with disabilities and people without to play right next to each other with no restrictions. Tonight, I'm joined by Besta and Collin Sullivan. Thank you so much for joining me. Maria was involved in the planning for the new facility, and Collin is an instructor for Mary Free Bed's Junior Wheelchair Sports Camp. And you also play,
yes,
right?
Correct.
That's great. So how did this whole idea come about in the first place? How did Mary Free Bed decide to collaborate with the Y and come up with this extremely unique way of allowing everyone to take part in fitness and games?
Well, Mary Free Bed and the YMCA have had a long relationship, have similar missions, and thought that this would be the ultimate way to bring all the community together and to not leave anyone behind as far as their physical fitness and sporting needs. And Mary Free Bed has a wheelchair and adaptive sports department, which we sponsor several teams.
Yeah.
And this is a place that our athletes will be able to go and participate barrier-free.
Right.
It's universally designed, meaning everything in the facility they'll be able to use just like their able-bodied peers.
Right, just on the ground level, you'll be able to consider whatever needs to be built in order to include everyone with whatever their mobility issue may be.
Exactly.
That's fantastic. Now, you work with the Junior Wheelchair program. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it's what makes Mary Free Bed so exceptional, and the resources that it offers so exceptional, is that there are multiple sports that are available for anyone with any number of mobility issues, whether it's tennis or basketball or sled hockey or wheelchair rugby, which I'm actually going to practice here in about half an hour, so this works out well. But there are a ton of different options, and for someone like myself who all of a sudden about 15 years ago became injured, for anyone who's in that position, they go to Mary Free Bed for rehab services, they're introduced to all these different options that you might not be aware of initially. And so for the Junior Wheelchair Sports Camp in particular, for a lot of kids who are in this position and they feel particularly vulnerable because they're different now, it is an opportunity for them to get together for a week, get introduced to a lot of these different sports, learn about the different sports, and then use that as kind of a springboard to the more established programs that Mary Free Bed offers to play more regularly and to play competitively. So my role in there is just to serve as an instructor and as a mentor, and just to help out in that regard too.
I would imagine it's an opportunity for kids that aren't sure about where they're going with their situation to feel very comfortable, especially with the facility that's taken into consideration what's going to help them on their level.
Exactly, and they'll be able to learn all kinds of opportunities on how to be have good nutrition, how to weight train properly.
So it's really more than just working out, too.
Yes.
There's some behind-the-scenes education on that, too.
Yep.
And the YMCA is offering so many programs that now our athletes, our kids will be able to participate in because they can, because they'll have this collaborative teamwork with the Y.
Now, this is unique in the entire country. Have you had anyone else contacting you to say, even though it's not open yet and it's going to be built, have you had anyone else contacting you guys to say, hey, how are you doing this? How are you going to make this come together?
We hope to have that happen, and I'm sure we will, because it's going to be state-of-the-art, something that is unlike anything anyone's ever seen, and I think it's going to be a role model for other facilities around the nation.
Moving forward, I certainly hope so. Yeah.
And even just like I know the wheelchair rugby team I play on has expanded in numbers in large part because of word getting around due to the support that Mary Free Bed gives the team, the different resources that we have, and then with this facility being built, it's word's going to spread even more, and people are going to want to come to Grand Rapids to participate in these sports.
They certainly will. Very exciting. Looking forward to it. Besta and Collin Sullivan, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.